Sup nerds, I'm Wes.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Aaron.
We're Neverboard Gaming, and we're taking a look at the Kickstarter prototype for Eye for an Eye from Darwin Games.
Eye for an Eye is the craziest, most hectic game of Battle Royale that you'll play, because it's real time. Nobody has their own actions. You're just rolling dice, selecting the actions you want to take with those dice, announcing that action, and taking it. And it's just chaotic craziness.
Yeah, we only played it with 3, but I can only imagine doubling that. Like if there was 2 of each of us in the room and we're all going at it, it'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, just hey, stop, I'm attacking you. And you're like, okay, I'm blocking it, and then I'm moving.
We did play it with 2, and that was just, okay, I'm moving, we're next to each other, attack. Eye for an Eye was almost a little deceiving to me at first because they have different characters with special abilities and the special ability cards that you can flip over and activate and trigger and all that kind of stuff. It says, that they recommend that you don't have those cards or don't use the special ability on your player board, for your first time. And we're cocky bastards, so we were like, screw that, we're going to do it. We always just start with everything and see what it's like. But this was one of the few cases where I was actually like, yeah, we're going to need to take a minute and play it just, vanilla to really wrap our heads around it, because there's so many times when you drop those dice and you're under so much pressure, you're starting to have a heart attack and you're like, what does the spear do? What does the spear do? Does the spear heal me?
What's in a gin and tonic? What's in a gin and tonic? And it really is not because the rules are overwhelming. It's just because it's that chaotic, real-time, competitive games. I don't think I've played a competitive real-time game yet. Most of the ones I've played have been co-op.
Steam Park. We haven't played it, but it's out there. It's a real-time dice rolling, but it's competitive. But I know the only other one that really jumps to my mind that we've played is Escape or Escape. And it's kind of co-op because you can leave somebody, let somebody die, and not really care about him.
Yeah, we played Zombie 15 too.
Oh, Zombie 15, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if somebody dies in Escape, you all lose, so you can't just let them die. But you can let them get cursed and
everybody else. That guy loses.
Anyway, an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
So it's just hectic and chaotic, and because you announce every action you take, there's constant. It's not just
you're yelling at each other. You're
all yelling, and you're jumping, and you're screaming, and it gets, like Tom was saying, we have to have points where if you're attacking, all right, everyone stop, pause, this happens, it resolves,
I like how you felt the need to give us an example of silence.
But it does just give you that hectic, chaotic feeling. You feel just...
Yeah, your heart's pounding.
No, that feeling.
Oh, okay. After getting the base mechanics down for this game, I realized it's a lot like King of Tokyo, but real time. The fact that you can heal, you can attack each other, and you have to decide, if you want to move over here and kind of be in Tokyo and being in the center of everyone attacking you. Because if you move out there, you're the first one to get to the center, you're kind of putting a target on your back. And I don't know, the fact that you're rolling dice and, combining them into different either attacks or blocking or moving, it kind of felt Tokyo, King of Tokyo-esque, except for the fact that you can re-roll as many times as you want.
Yeah, so it's just the allocation of dice under pressure. In King of Tokyo, it's allocation of dice with a limited number of rolls. Mm-hmm. Here, it's allocation of dice under stress and time pressure, really, because in theory I could roll the dice and stop and go, okay, wait, I'm gonna go for a bunch of attack right now, mm-hmm. Or since I rolled that, I'm gonna start going for that, but you really, and then you'll look up, you're like, I think that's what I want. You look up, you're like, oh wait, I'm dead. Normally when we get a prototype to do a Kickstarter preview, we aren't 100% told what all the stretch goal possibilities are or anything, we just kind of get to play the game and give our thoughts on it. Now, let's speculate wildly. I think it would be great if there was an all versus one, giant boss version of this. Ooh. Maybe with a different map where the dude is a bigger and maybe takes up some more squares, but has a bunch of health that we're all trying to attack. And one of its abilities is to teleport across the map. Because otherwise it would just be we all crowd around him and just start attacking, mm-hmm. which is kind of what happens in this game anyways. But if you could just teleport and move to another section of the map, that would be amazing.
Or if he was a blob that can absorb your dice.
Oh, yeah.
Just sucks him up. Yeah. You lose dice if you roll a certain icon against him.
Yeah. Now, we do know what some of the stretch goals are, which is going to be more characters, and they look awesome. Go ahead and take a look at them now. Those look nice.
I like how everyone has a big tentacle eye sticking out.
This guy's really cool.
Do we really have the pictures that I
Yes,
can
he
put up?
sent us a file of a bunch of
Okay.
different guys.
You don't see it right there? It's right here in front of your
Oh,
face.
it's right there. Now, Tom was talking about the additional power cards that you get in addition to your main character sheet. And in the rules, it say that these add thematics to the game. And when I was reading the rule book, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Let's go on. And like the first couple times playing it, like you don't care about theme or lore or anything because that real time, all you're thinking about is like staying alive and killing people like a real battle royale. But as like we played more and I really kind of got more comfortable with the game, I did start realizing how those thematics take place. You know, I was playing as a guy that could like charge up to do a super unblockable attack, especially if he was adjacent to someone or they were adjacent to terrain. And I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of want to go hide and then like build up. And so I have 4 dice on this card that's going to do a crazy, like, that's a third of your health. It's unblockable. You can't avoid it. And I only have 1 dice left to move, so I either have to wait for someone to walk by me or, like, slowly, like, you know, roll, move, roll, move, roll, move. That's how I roll when I move until I can really just and just slam them with the damage and just do, like, crazy stuff.
And that is a big testament to how powerful the abilities are, but how much focus you need to spend on them. So we really had to like flip them all over because they start face down and you have to like activate them to flip them up. But we had to have them all face up and be like, okay, so what does that guy do? Exactly how does that guy work? Okay, what does that guy do? Because you can't do that in the middle of the battle. You can't be like, wait, how exactly does this work?
You can't explain your ability in the middle of the game because like it's. And they're so asymmetrical too. Like you had one guy that was ranged, I had a guy that could fly and like jump over rocks and jump over people. So like you kind of need to know what your opponents are up to a little bit, but you
also just need to know your own abilities.
And once you know your abilities, you need to play truthfully because the fact that you were rolling dice and they're rolling dice, you could totally just cheat, but
we would never do that.
Like you need
That's true for any simultaneous rolling.
But because it really is like no one's looking at what you're rolling, you could just be like, yeah, I'm totally rolling stuff and I win. And like Tom kind of alluded to earlier.
I was trying.
Every day with this crap.
Like Tom alluded to earlier, the fact that you're like trying to roll your dice but still pay attention to the board, it's that same thing. If you're over here fighting and you guys look and say, oh, he's just sitting in the corner. What's he doing over there? Oh, he's 2 dice away from just like wrecking us. Maybe we should go over there and fight him.
Or maybe we should roll a bunch of shields.
Yeah, roll a bunch. Or it's unblockable. But regardless, and there's some characters that can like take dice away from other people, or some characters that you give them the card that they have to like fill up with a certain side of dice before they can do anything else. So, I'm going to go do this to wipe your board right before you do your super special attack. So there are so many things to pay attention to in this game.
And really what you're speaking to is what Aaron already touched on is how asymmetrical these powers are. I would definitely say that one of my favorite parts about this game is that, you know, normally when we get like the production copy of a game, we don't really play the prototype much anymore, but that is not the case with this game because I am definitely going to wash these cups, put them in my cabinet, and drink juice out of them.
I mean, they're IKEA cups, like...
I know.
It's so nice.
They're perfect. IKEA cups are perfect for juice. That's the slogan.
Disclaimer, we don't know that the retail version is going to come with blue IKEA cups. That might just be for, like, maybe those don't have anything to do with the game. He just like, hey, you guys need cups.
So you brought up, you know, what if Wes is standing over in the corner, you know, trying to build up, and we're over here fighting each other. We're actually, as we're dealing damage to each other, we're collecting, you know, health and victory points. And if Wes stays out there and does nothing, we kill each other off, you know, or I get you down to 1 health and then you kill me and the West comes over and does 1 damage to you, he's going to get 1 victory point, plus he's the last man standing now, so he's going to get 5 more points. So it's like, he guess he won, but like, if you were playing just the victory points and you could actually stay alive and he didn't do that 1 point to you, you get 5 points for standing in a corner the entire time, and you got all these points from doing damage to me. So,
and according to the rulebook, last man standing doesn't actually win. It's whoever has the most points, and you get a point for every damage you do to somebody else. So we talked a lot about how crazy and wacky and asymmetric it is, but the best thing about this game is the fact that each game is played in a maximum of a 5-minute round. And then there's music that comes with it to help you get into the theme of it and honestly add to the craziness, because not only is everyone yelling, but there's music playing in the background. So the games go by super quick. So yes, maybe you have one character that gets a super ridiculous hit and you're like, that's ridiculous, you can't do that. This is what Tom says all the time. But again, it's a 5-minute game, so that either you can rotate abilities or rotate people or try again or try a different strategy. Regardless, it's not like you're playing an hour-and-a-half game and somebody is broken or somebody does something that kind of skews how the game is going. It's played super quick, it's wacky, and it's just fun. I don't know if I can call it a party game, because most party games are we're hanging back, we're eating some pretzels, drinking some beer, that stuff's going on, people are in and out.
Yeah, you really can't eat or drink while you're playing this.
But I feel like it's not a party game, but this game is a party. I'll leave it at that.
And also, that music that comes along with the game is actually just Blank Spaces by Taylor Swift on a loop.
I want to agree with Wes. The fact that this game is so quick definitely is a good thing for it, because we played the first game and I got crushed and I was like, this game sucks. I just wanted to flip the table. But after playing a couple more games and realizing, because they had already played it and they had the general awareness, knowledge of, okay, this
general
is
awareness.
And they knew where to put their dice and how to select their actions and they're just a little more what's the word I'm looking for?
We're more
Smarter.
acclimated.
Handsome, successful. What do you want?
They just had the practice with the game, and after playing it a couple times and understanding how to move and when to save your defense and when to save your attack, is definitely, it grows on you and you definitely get better at it. And it's definitely a game that the more you play it, the more fun you're going to have, and trying out the different abilities. Some of the characters are harder to play as, and actually says on the back, hard, but there's a guy that said hard, and I played as him first, and it was really hard to play as.
And I think it's also playing to your character's ability. It's not oh, I can use this ability sometimes. It's no, your strategy when you're getting ready to play needs to be, what's his ability and how can I use that to win?
Last thing is, these minis are awesome. The sculpts are so cool. It's such a unique little character. They're kind of goofy, and that was the first thing that I saw. The artwork. I'm like, This looks awesome, and I'm like, we're just gonna be punching each other in the eyes. Let's do it.
And these minis actually are part of the prototype of the game. This isn't the final sculpts for this game. They're actually from a different game in the same universe that Darwin Games has done. And I haven't played that game, but looking at just these minis and how cool they are and just kind of the universe they've built here, I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you get that game too.
So it's going to be hard for me to say more than what these guys already said. It's fast, it's fun, it's absolutely chaotic, and it is a heart attack in a pretty big box here. If you do have a heart condition, stay away. This could actually be your death, but hey, what a fun way to die. If you're watching this video on YouTube, we're going to go ahead and have a link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description box down below.
And I'm going to go ahead and put a card right there.
If you're already on the Kickstarter page, you need to scroll back up to the top and click that back button right now.
And either way, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.
Oh, my eye!
IKEA cups.
IKEA cups. Don't shoot your eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
And shoot your
Are
eye
we
out.
letting Aaron write jokes again?